Browns are back, baby. 27-3 win over the Tennessee Titans. And I want to start my post-game show off with this. No Nick Chubb. So what happens? You see the rest of the stars step up in his place. Myles Garrett goes off for one of the best games, if possibly not the absolute best game of his NFL career. Deshaun Watson looked like Deshaun Watson. 27 for 33, 289 yards, and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Amari Cooper came to play. His best game with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. 7 grabs, 116 yards, and 1 touchdown. There was going to be a lot of questions about this team in this locker room specifically once Nick Chubb went down. But look at the way this group bounced back. They lost 24, and they go out the next week, and they play one of the best games we have seen under the Kevin Stefanski regime, holding Mike Vrabel to 3 points and putting up 27 on offense. Browns are so back, baby. We are back. We are back. So what I want to know from everyone watching right now is Deshaun Watson back? Right off the bat here. Is Watson in this offense? Are they back? Is Deshaun Watson back? After maybe an overreaction, just one game here, but we talked about earlier this week how Watson historically gets off to slow starts, if you will, across his entire NFL career. And I think we're starting to see him turn a corner right now because that's a good Titans defense, make no mistake. And they carved him up. They were great. Deshaun Watson, 27 for 33, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He continues to extend plays. He evades sacks. Yes, sometimes it comes at a bit of a heart attack. Yes, you do get the bad plays like the very bizarre throwback to Elijah Moore that was just completely unnecessary. But the guy's a gamer. The guy is going to make plays. So kind of like Josh Allen, you take the good with the bad, right? There's going to be a lot of great plays, and then there's going to be plays where you think, why did you not just go down with the sack? Well, if he does that every time, you don't get some of the incredible, incredible plays he makes. And the guy was just lighting it up. I mean, the amount of incredibly difficult sideline throws he was making to Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones when they were completely covered and he put it in a window where only the receiver could get it. Amari Cooper, 7 grabs, 116 yards, 1 touchdown, and had that exclamation point of a 43-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter to put the game on ice. Like I said at the top of the video, the stars came to play. They stepped up in Nick Chubb's absence. Cooper, Watson, and Garrett. After Joel Petonio, I think we can all agree those are your 3 best players moving on from Nick Chubb. And all 3 players were awesome today, and that was great to see. And shout out to this Browns defense. 11 carries for 20 yards for a 2-3-time NFL rushing leader, Derrick Henry. Jim Schwartz's defense might be the best defense in the NFL. If you just go by the numbers, he's given up 1 touchdown through 3 games on a completely blown misassignment play to George Pickens on Monday Night Football. No team has put together a 75-yard, 10-play touchdown drive on the Cleveland Browns. Jim Schwartz's defense produced sack after sack. They play hard. They fly across the field, and they look like they are a brotherhood. It's like Band of Brothers on the gridiron right now with this defense. It's incredible to see. Now, before we get on to the rest of my post-game show, I do want to tell everyone about our sponsor today, which is Waterboy. Support for today's Cleveland Browns report comes from Waterboy. And if you're hydrated and you know it, clap your hands. We all know that hangovers suck, Big D. Get your mind out of the gutter. We're talking about dehydration. Waterboy is your hangover lifesaver, coming in hot with over 3 times the electrolytes of Liquid IV. Waterboy's Weekend Recovery Pack is scientifically formulated to cut your hangover time in half. All you do is mix it in with 16 ounces of water to get hydrated. And you know what they say? If you use Waterboy's powder stack, you'll get your mojo right back. So for a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their entire order with the code CHATSPORTS at waterboy.com/chatsports. Our 6-inch stack is packing. Now, during our watch party today for this game, if you can tell, my voice is starting to get away from me, and that's because I was screaming so much, and I was also having a lot of dog bowls. And that's not going to leave me feeling all that great on Monday morning. But with Waterboy, that's going to kick and kill my hangover that's incoming. That's never going to happen thanks to Waterboy. A lot of things get worse as you get older, but your hangovers don't have to. Waterboy isn't a magic cure, but it's pretty darn close to one. Hundreds of thousands of people already trust Waterboy as their hangover cure. It's time to stop dealing with the anxiety alone. For a limited time, my listeners get an exclusive 15% off discount when they use the code CHATSPORTS at waterboy.com. That's 15% off with the code CHATSPORTS at waterboy.com. Waterboy has got you covered. Moving on with some more takeaways and highlights from this game, the defense can never get enough love. I mean, they continue to put out highlight after highlight after highlight. Myles Garrett was awesome. JOK is quietly putting together a really strong start to the season. The guy is always flying into the backfield and making open field tackles. Martin Emerson, he put DeAndre Hopkins in his pocket. He literally said, Hopkins, over here. In the pocket you go. Just dropped him in. Maybe a carrot or a celery for him, but that's all. Ryan Tannehill and this offense had some nice plays on that 2-minute drill going into the half, but ultimately the Browns defense wipes it all away with a Myles Garrett sack. This Browns defense might be the thing that pushes this team over the edge, and the scary thing is the Browns offense is just warming up. Like, we are bitching and moaning about the Browns offense. They have 27 points on an off day. They had 24 against the Bengals when it was torrential downpour and Joe Burrow couldn't move the ball for shit. Against Kenny Pickett and the Steelers, if they don't have 2 touchdowns go the other way off a pick six and a fumble, this team still is putting up over 20 points, and it looks like they're not even running at full capacity. Just wait. When this offense really starts clicking and this ground game starts to find an identity, with Kareem Hunt having some nice plays, had a nice screen pass, go for a first down. Jerome Ford is starting to slip out of some tackles. Let this ground game kind of cook and simmer. Today, next week against the Ravens, who I'm watching right now, are in overtime. And if they lose, it's going to be for the division after that game. Go into the bye, come out against the 49ers. This team is clicking. It's only 3 games in, so I'm not going to panic over some miscues on the offensive side after the first 2 weeks of the season. Watson's getting better. He's improving. And he's looking like that $230 million QB. And I can't wait to bring up some old receipts, baby. Now, I do want to wrap up the show with some quick super chats we had come in during our watch party. Andrew Wiseman, defense continues to smack people in the mouth. And they are having fun doing it. I said in the offseason, if anyone wants to go back and look, I did a video of the top 10 additions for this Browns in the offseason. And I had Jim Schwartz 1, 2, or 3, but I think I had him at 1. Jim Schwartz is the best guy on defense because this defense, it's a lot of the same personnel that Joe Woods had last year. But they look like a whole different unit out there thanks to Jim Schwartz. Chris Yarden also with a super chat saying, let's go. This defense is for real. And Chris, you're absolutely right. Game slowed down for the offense today, and they executed. On to Baltimore. Let's go Brownies, Chris. And then Jarrett Roush with a $50 super chat for you, Petey. About 82% completion for Watson. Gotta effing love it. Let's go Browns. Who are you most impressed with in this game? Also down with the Ravens. Let's go Colts and it cuts off for the next 10 minutes for the time being. Jarrett, who am I most impressed with? The simple answer is Deshaun Watson, right? 82% completion percentage, nearly 300 yards. And let's be honest, if DTR does now play the end of the game there, they probably get Watson another completion so he has 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Watson is the surface level answer. If I'm digging a little bit deeper though, can we talk a little bit more about JOK? Like, he's making a lot of really good plays. And for a Browns linebacker unit that doesn't have any long-term pieces, I hope he is a long-term piece because I loved what I saw out of him. Also, Taki scored a touchdown today. At least CBS thought he did for like half a second. So shout out to Taki for his touchdown for half a second. And I'm going to add Jerome Ford. The guy is the leading touchdown getter for this team. 2 scores today, 1 on the ground, 1 through the air. And he had 1 through the air last week. Jerome Ford, he continues to have a knack to find the end zone. So how about Jerome Ford as someone outside Deshaun Watson I am very impressed with after this game? All right, that's going to do it for us on today's post-game show. If you liked our post-game content, consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to get you guys daily videos, news, rumors, all that good stuff. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's go Brownies. And your Cleveland Browns are 2-1.